Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You got Indigo Diamond here with another video. Back again, once again, to talk about the latest episode of All Stars 6. This time we are talking about the Hall of Fame Super Bowl halftime show thingy. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and tell me down below, who are you rooting for? I still have no idea because I love them all so much. So let's get into it. You guys may notice I have some new lashes, which are huge and probably wonky. I don't know if it's that my lashes are wonky or if it's just that my eyes are wonky. It could be both. This episode, my god, I think the thing is the bottom two I think were clear. It was clear who was going to be in the bottom two. But they still didn't necessarily do like a terrible job, which I mean again just kind of speaks to the caliber of this season of All Stars, with the fact that everyone is just so good and everyone literally just came to slay. So we'll see if I can remember who did who bit by bit. So opening the show we had Ginger Minj, who did Fergie. Now I found it interesting that they mentioned that the queens got to pick who they did for this challenge, because then some of the choices you kind of look at and go, really? Okay. But Ginger Minj picked Fergie, which I thought was an interesting choice. And then I think she did alright. And she was definitely sort of like more towards the bottom end of the queens. I'm glad she didn't end up in the bottom because I don't think she deserved to end up in the bottom. But, you know, it was kind of that issue where, as Jamal said when he was doing the choreography, Fergie doesn't really have like a Fergie move. Like, she doesn't have a dance move that you look at and go, that's Fergie. That is Fergie. And I mean, in the challenge, I think she looked as much like Fergie as she could. But yeah, it wasn't amazing, and I think that was probably because of the fact that it was Fergie. I wonder if she had any other choices. If she could have picked someone else, who it would have been. Who came after Fergie? I don't remember. Oh, was it Eureka? Maybe Eureka came next. Eureka did Madonna, which was kind of like, okay. And then the song was just kind of eh. And then I love the fact that I started this saying about how amazing it was, and I'm like, meh. I still really enjoyed it. And then, like, she did a couple of, like, the high kicks. I'm sat there going, I don't think Madonna does that. I'm pretty sure that's just a Eureka thing. Like, there were a couple of things she did, and I'm sat there going, I'm pretty sure that's not a Madonna thing. But they didn't read her for it or anything, and Michelle said she was really good. She brought some humour to Madonna, and I was like, okay, I thought Ginger's was better, but I also hated Eureka's outfit on the runway. Like, they really liked it, and I was sat there, I was like, it's hideous. Like, I do not want to see that. Who came after Eureka? I was literally just going to be an entire video of me going, who came after such and such? I can't remember who came after who. So we did Ginger, we did Eureka. Let's go for Kylie. Kylie did a male character, Steven Tyler, I want to say is the name. It's really funny because I listened to it not that long ago and my brain's completely gone blank. So she did more of a drag king look, because obviously very masculine man. I think she did well. I think it was definitely worthy of just sort of being safe, but I think she did a good job with it, which, you know, and I think considering it was very much a male character and she did more of a drag king sort of style, I think she did well. I think the song was, you know, she very much did what he would have done, and yeah, wasn't a whole lot more to say about that. I liked the way her outfit on the runway moved. It was very flowy, which I loved. And I loved the sort of like bust bit where it was all like stoned gorgeous. But I mean, Kylie always looks amazing. So it's not really like something you can kind of pick out on. Raja is literally slaying this season as well. Like, thing is, Raja said in her Meet the Queens that she, on her original season, she knows she's a bad bitch, but she just came off as being a bitch. And I was sat there going, yeah. And she was saying about how this season is going to be different. And honestly, she is one of those queens where you're sat there going, yes, you are coming across like, she is so lovable this season and so likable, and anyone that disagrees can go fuck themselves. I'm really enjoying Raja. I really love having her on my TV for this season. It's really refreshing to see her come in with this sort of different attitude and essentially just being like, this is what I'm actually like. And it's like, great. Stay. She did Diana Ross. She did amazing. You know, I thought she did really well. She looked phenomenal. She looked great. Gonna go with that because apparently I can't say the other word. Yeah, I don't really have a bad word to say about her for this episode. I haven't really had a bad word to say about her like since the start, so there we go. Raja did amazingly. I was so happy with her. Who else have we got? Yara Sofia was one of the bottom two, and Yara was unfortunately the one that got eliminated this episode. I almost said this season. She did Shakira. Now, the look was there, and the movements were there. The face, I feel like, could have been more Shakira and less Yara. The problem was, like, she didn't necessarily, like, lip sync all the words, and I just didn't feel that she was, like, really, like, yeah, I'm Shakira, like, with her mouth, like, in her face. I think her face very much, to me, came across like she was like, I'm here, I'm doing the thing, yeah, my body looks great, and it's like, that's, you need to kind of, like, sell that you believe in these words, and you're not doing that. So obviously she got eliminated to the group vote, which was sad to see Yara go, but at the same time, I think I'm just going to be like, oh, it's sad to see them go pretty much every episode, so I don't really know what more I can say. I really liked Yara. It was a bit awkward when she left, though, when her, like, leaving line was, fuck you all. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Bye. See you later. With this game within a game thing. The other bottom in the bottom two was Akeria Davenport again. She's not doing so well this season, is she? Which is a shame because I really liked her in her original season. She was a bit of a shit stirrer. But I still really enjoyed her. I liked having her around. And she did well in the challenges. And I'm not sure what it is, but this season she just doesn't seem to quite be getting there. She did Prince in the musical. And it was okay. And I think that was the problem. It was okay. It wasn't like amazing. It was like, oh my god, yes, it's Prince. It was kind of like, it's nice. Nice sort of like transition to someone else. Scarlet Envy, can we just for a minute appreciate the fact that on her season, it was all about the fact that she couldn't really dance. And, you know, I think she did really well in this challenge. So Scarlet Envy did Katy Perry, and I was so impressed and so happy with her. I was like, yes, Scarlet, you are... And, I mean, it's a shame because she's just been, like, safe this entire time. But, you know, I really enjoyed her performance. You know, I think she really sold herself as Katy Perry, you know, looks wise with the dancing and stuff like that, and I was just very happy, very impressed with her. Right, who else have we got? Okay, well, I think we've only got 2 people left, right? Fergie, Madonna, Steven Tyler. No, 3 people left. 3 people left. Pandora Boxx did Carol Channing again. I was so happy. It was like when it was like, oh, Carol Channing, I was like, oh, okay, we'll do Carol Channing again. I was like, as long as it's good, I'm going to be happy. And I was pissing myself with laughter. I watched it with my mum and she I don't think she quite got it. But I was in absolute hysterics watching Pandora. It was great. I kind of wish she had been in the top 3. I would have switched her out with Eureka, I think. Trinity K. Bonet now. Wow. So in her season, she was saying about how she wanted to be Beyonce, and she wanted to do a show where she was like Beyonce, and Bianca Del Rio was like, oh, you know, I don't really know anyone that looks like Beyonce, sort of thing. And oh my god, Trinity, because like in the rehearsals, she was like killing her choreography and stuff like that, and it was always that moment where you're like, oh god, is she gonna like really fuck up in the challenge? And she didn't. She did the damn thing, and she closed the show, and my god, she was the perfect one to close the show. She did that thing. I was so happy. I was like, yes, oh my god, yes. Unfortunately, didn't quite win the challenge. I think maybe if her runway had been slightly stronger, she would have won that challenge, like hands down, because she slayed that Beyonce. Like, it was great. It was really good, and it was the perfect one to have at the end. Now, the winner of the challenge was Jan. Yes, Jan finally won her challenge, her first challenge, and it was the Rusical. If you can really call it well, yeah, it was a Rusical. She did Lady Gaga, again, slayed. A lot of people were like, oh, did Trinity K. Bonet and like Jan sort of break the Gaga Beyonce curse? And for me, I'm sat there going, no. And it's nothing against what they did. The reason I say no is because the curse is on the Snatch Game. And a lot of the times with the Snatch Game, they say, look, you know, these people don't have necessarily really big personalities. They're performers, and it's the performance that they do really well in. This challenge was them performing as these singers. So, you know, obviously this is what the singers do. So you would hope that they would do well. And they did. So I don't think they've broken the curse of portraying Beyonce or portraying Lady Gaga does, you know, and you do badly, because that's more of a Snatch Game thing. I think, you know, we still have yet to see anyone break that curse, and I don't think we will. Jan did really well. I do think that Jan, like Trinity, sort of embodied the singer. So Jan did really well as Lady Gaga. I loved the outfit, loved the look. She had the dance moves down. It was great. I love the fact that she started at the piano, because it was a very Lady Gaga concert thing. I really enjoyed it, and I loved her runway look. It was a beautiful colour. I loved that colour on her. I thought it looked great. I would be intrigued to see who the eliminated queens would have picked. So who Silky would have picked. That was me thinking, not trying to think who the other two queens were. It was me thinking about who, because originally I was like, oh, she could do Diana Ross, and then I was like, oh no, well we already had a Diana Ross. Maybe I don't know. Would be interesting to see who she would have picked. Who Jiggly would have picked. Would have loved to have seen that, and who Serena Chacha would have picked. It would have been very interesting. Maybe I'll look on Instagram and stuff and see if I can find out who they picked. Because, you know how some of them, like, they'll put up their, like, outfits, and some of them will be like, oh, this is what I would have done for Snatch Game and stuff like that. It would have been nice to see who they would have done, especially Silky. I'd be very intrigued to see who Silky would have done. Maybe she would have done Jennifer Hudson. I only say that because one of the queens mentioned something about Jennifer Hudson. I remember hearing something. That was good. So the lip sync assassin this week was Jessica Wilde. I was very happy to see Jessica back on my screen. I love her. She is definitely on my list of queens that I want to see come back for All Stars. I will tell you now that pretty much every queen that's been on Drag Race is on my list of people I want to come back for All Stars, just because I'm like, I want to see what you're doing now. I want to see if you come back, you know, how you elevated from your season. That is what I want to see. That is one of the things I love about Drag Race, about All Stars even. So Jessica came back. She slayed the lip sync, which was Womanizer by Britney Spears. I loved it. I definitely think she was the right winner, because Jan went a bit kooky, I want to say, with the lip sync, and I don't think it necessarily worked in her favour, I will say. But it is what it is. Jan still won the challenge. She just didn't win the tip, which then rolls over to next week. So I think next week's now 30,000 if the person wins the lip sync. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure who I want to win. It's been kind of like, no one's sort of like won multiple times yet. It's all been kind of like a different person each week, which is great because, you know, it's nice to be able to see multiple people have their chance to be like, yeah, look, this is what I can do, and now I've won the challenge sort of thing. But it's kind of like I mean, the clear front runner at this point is still, in my head, Raja. Mainly because when she won the challenge, she also won her lip sync. And she's also pretty much just been killing it the entire time. You know, if you think about it, she made a dress for her talent show. That was really good. She was on the winning team when it came to the drag fixers, when they each had to the side hustles challenge. She did really well in that as well. Episode 3. No, that was episode 3. What was episode 2? Episode 2 was the ball challenge, which was the one she won. And then, obviously, this episode she did Diana Ross, and again, she killed it. She did so well. She is very much being consistent with what she produces on All Stars this season, and it's good to see. Not because I want her to win, because I don't have a yes, I want you to win, but it's just nice to see someone come in and just be like, yes, I can do the thing. It's great to see. And it's just nice to see her seem so happy. Because she did come across quite bitter on her season. And it's just nice to see her come in with such a different attitude. And just to be so happy and be in herself and just be in the moment. It's really good to see that. I'm so happy for her. Not that obviously she needs me to be happy for her. But, you know, hey, I'm happy for her anyway. So that, I think, is going to be it from me for this episode. As I said, leave me a comment down below. Who are you rooting for? Tell me why you're rooting for them, because I have no idea. I'm rooting for everyone still at this point. Too many people. I would like you to hit subscribe and the like button while you're down there telling me who and why you want them to win. And don't forget to follow me on my socials. I stream every week. I haven't streamed that much this week, even though I've been off. I've just not been feeling quite... I've been feeling well. Like, it's not like an illness thing. I don't know. There's just been something a bit weird with how I've been feeling this week. So I've not been doing it, but I will be streaming today. And then next week I should get back to my normal schedule, I think, with my streaming, which is like, was it Monday, Wednesdays... maybe Saturdays, maybe Sundays. There's always at least one day of the weekend that I stream, which is usually Sundays because that's when I usually do this. And then if I have time on the other day, I will do it on that day as well. But until next time, I'm your girl Indigo Diamond, and I'll see you guys later. See ya!